welcome here to TalkFCB and welcome back to the channel, guys. There is plenty coming up today as, of course, we are going to be reflecting on yesterday's performance against Alaves and exactly really what went wrong last night in that flat display. We are also going to be talking transfer news and especially regarding Barca's pursuit and possible acquisition of Ajax left-back Nicolas Tagliafico. And I'm also going to be covering the big questions and especially your questions surrounding Ousmane Dembélé right now as the debate rumbles on. It is all coming up, so let's get to it. Because, of course, there has been plenty of reaction to Barca's display against Alaves last night, which I think we'll all agree was not a great one by any stretch of the imagination. Earlier today, finally, I uploaded on more TalkFCB. We spoke about Jordi Alba's response there to criticism coming his way, Frenkie de Jong responding to, and Xavi giving his thoughts on exactly what went wrong last night. And I was just trying to get my head around what we saw, because let's not forget, you wind back the clock there just a matter of days, and we showed real promise, real progress in the Clásico against Real Madrid. We did see a good version of Barca in that game. We saw hunger, we saw intensity and indeed excitement. And since that game, what exactly has gone wrong? And I think straight away, of course, you would look at tiredness. Has that become a factor, you know, over the last week or so? We went all the way out to Saudi Arabia for that Super Cup game. We then took the game all the way to extra time against Real Madrid. And of course, in the very next game, we did exactly the same. Extra time again against Athletic. So 2 games they're going to extra time back to back. It's certainly going to take a lot out of our players, and I think also it's not just about tiredness, but I think maybe what we saw and why the win I think yesterday was so vital is that maybe the players were just feeling a bit disheartened. You know, I think the confidence there had certainly been knocked, especially after that Real Madrid game, to play so well, to do a lot of good things, yet come away with nothing, knocked out of the Super Cup. And then you play in the Copa del Rey, again, we fight back against Athletic, we get that injury time goal, but we leave with nothing, knocked out again of another cup. And I think also as well, seeing the injury to Ansu Fati, the real heartache, I think in the dressing room would have really felt that. And above all else, guys, I'm not just making a lot of excuses here for the team, but I think after all of that there, the tiredness, the lack of confidence, feeling there a little bit disheartened, what you really want is a game in front of your own fans. What you really need in that situation, actually, is the fans behind you to pick you up and drag you through that situation. But by the time we play Atletico Madrid at the start of February, it will have been 50 days since we last played at the Camp Nou. 7 successive games away from our own stadium. That is tough for any team. That is going to hit any team hard. And I just think all of these factors yesterday certainly contributed to what was a bad performance. Because, of course, I did promise to give you here my player ratings submitted over on the Sporting app, and as you can see right here, I've gone with a 7 for Ter Stegen. I didn't feel as though Dest really took that chance. A lot of people may say, you know what, though, it was his first game in a while, you know, what are you expecting him to do? And I fully agree with that, you know, he does need more time in the team, but yesterday did not play well. I didn't think Jordi Alba was great either, to be honest. Yes, he did contribute in the goal for Barca. Credit to him for that, but there was a moment I feel where he allowed a cross to come in. Joselu could have easily scored for Alaves, and Alba defensively still leaves a lot to be desired. I thought 2 of the best players, Piqué and Araujo, and credit to Piqué, I've got to say, I thought he played well yesterday, and I think actually he's had a few very, very decent performances of late under Xavi, and Araujo alongside him, absolutely top-notch in his play. In midfield, the standout man for sure was Pedri. De Jong, I think, was solid. Of course, he was a big, big part there in us winning the game altogether, and I didn't really feel like Busquets one way or the other. He didn't do anything terrible. He didn't do anything incredible. He just sort of made his way through this game. Probably I haven't been harsh enough on maybe Luke de Jong, maybe Abde. They could easily, I feel, be rated lower. And I just felt that Ferran Torres so key in that equalising goal. And I think the runs that he's making off the ball, once we can find him a lot more, he will have more and more chances in front of goal. And this is what I thought was really, really interesting indeed, guys, comparing my ratings with the average ratings that all of you have put in on the app. If you do want to get involved in this, of course, you can follow the link down below in the description. That will take you there straight to the TalkFCB section where you can get involved in the ratings and indeed in the TalkFCB chat. You can see right here, a lot of you guys rated the overall team performance better than I did. I really did think there that it was worthy of a 2. I was not happy with the display yesterday. Like I say there, people are rating Abde lower than I did, but I think we were all very much in agreement after this game that the standout player was indeed Pedri in midfield. Definitely there as well was Araujo at the centre of defence, and I'm sure that is something that we're going to say not just in this game, but looking to many games to come at this club. But I do want to talk about Nicolas Tagliafico. That is something that really interesting right now in the media, especially heading into this break, of course. We've got a bit of time now to get some signings done. If we are going to add to this squad, if we are going to bring some extra options in for Xavi, now is the time that we can get that done. We are said to be targeting Ajax and Argentina left-back Tagliafico. The negotiations right now between Barça and Ajax, they're very much open. There's been some good discussions there, good dialogue between the two clubs. Let's not forget we do have a good relationship with Ajax as a club, but as of right now, there is a significant difference when it comes to the structuring of any potential deal, because Ajax want to sell Tagliafico. They're not really interested right now in loaning him in January. If he is going to leave, they would like to sell him for around 7 million euros, whereas Barça, they only really want to loan Tagliafico. They want him on loan until the end of the season. Maybe there would be some sort of buy option in that deal, but what they really want is that loan, and I kind of agree with them, because right now Tagliafico, I think he could come in, I think he could definitely add a lot for the remainder of the season, but looking more long term, he is 29 years old. I think a loan is definitely ideal because he has been inconsistent with Ajax this season. It feels as though maybe there's a situation there whereby I think he feels as though he needs a new challenge. I think he's needed that now for quite some time, and a move to Barca is said to really appeal to Tagliafico. He wants to make this move happen, and I think if we could do it on loan, it would be a great addition, because I think he would come in there, he'd bring experience. I think he also suits our style of play very well as well. Of course, at Ajax, the style that we would like to have, very similar indeed, and I think he would provide genuine competition for Alba at left back. And let's not forget as well, it's not all necessarily about bringing in somebody who's straight away going to replace Alba, but what we really want to see happen is pressure on Jordi Alba. We need him to know that he's not just going to stay in the team, because right now he has in his mind that no matter how he plays, no matter how bad he may be in any given game, it doesn't matter. He is going to start the very next game, and that is not a good recipe there for getting the best out of a Barcelona player. So I think there, if we can bring in some serious competition and Tagliafico, it would be welcomed. But speaking about options, this is when we come on now to quite the delicate topic and a big debate that is going on right now amongst Barcelona fans, because it all surrounds Ousmane Dembele. Because of course many people yesterday, again, after we were struggling in attack, after we didn't really carry too much of a threat yesterday, many people will say, well, we could play Dembele. If Dembele had been there, things would have been different. The first thing that I would say about that is, well, would he have played anyway? Because let's not forget the squad wasn't even announced until Sunday. Now, on Sunday, Dembele didn't even turn up for training in the morning before the game was going to take place, before the squad came out. He wasn't there. He said there that he had stomach problems. The club has said to not really buy that at all. But that is what I mean about would he have even been involved anyway? But I think that also tells us something more, because I think right now it is in everyone's best interest that Dembele leaves in January. But I'm thinking about him too, not only from a selfish point of view here for the club, but I think about Dembele because you imagine him, he's already quite unprofessional. We all know that Dembele doesn't really seem to like training that much. Many times he's arrived late to sessions. Sometimes he even gets the sessions between morning and evening mixed up. You imagine him for many months now for the rest of the season, if he didn't really feel like he had to be there, if he didn't really feel as though, oh, well, what's the point in turning up the training? I'm not playing anyway. You think of the kind of condition he's going to get himself in before he goes to his new club in the summer. It would be no good for him whatsoever to stay and get into that situation. But the big question is, what if he doesn't leave? What if in this January transfer window, which is looking a real possibility right now, if Dembele says, I refuse to go? What happens then? That is the question that is being asked among Barca fans right now, because given that we would still be paying Dembele a big salary, if he doesn't leave in this window, would you then bring him back into the squad? Would you then reintroduce him to the team and have him available for selection under Xavi? Now, my honest opinion is this. I personally think Xavi would definitely play him. I honestly think that if it was up to Xavi, even right now, he would still be playing Dembele. I believe there that he's been told from Laporta, higher up in the club, that you know what, this is a stance that we've got to take and you've got to follow that. And I think Xavi accepts that. And I think he understands that, because we can't forget, guys, whether you think that Dembele can come back in and make an impact, whether you think that Dembele can actually help this team right now, we cannot forget the disrespect he's shown this club. And that was illustrated in the statement that he made, by the way, a few days ago now, when he actually said in that statement that he 100% supports his agent, that he has 100% faith in his agent to act in his interest. So there's no doubt in my mind now that it's not just about Dembele's agent, those demands are all on the agent. This is Dembele and the agent together. They have disrespected the club. But in our fight for the top 4, in our fight to achieve our objectives, and thinking about the best interests for the club, the question will be asked, and it will continue to be asked, especially if Dembele doesn't leave this month. Will that door back to the first team reopen? And of course, guys, what I would really like to know is, what do you think and what would you do? Right now, of course, it is purely hypothetical, because Dembele still could leave in the January window, but if he doesn't, and come our next game and our big fixtures in February, what would you do when it comes to Dembele? Please do let me know, of course, your thoughts as well on yesterday's performance and maybe what went wrong for Barca. Do you agree with my player ratings? And don't forget, like I say, to get involved over on Sporting right now with all of the good stuff. And I'll be seeing you soon indeed, with more videos to come, even during this international break. Thanks indeed, guys, for your support. I will see you soon. But until next time, as always, Visca El Barça.